Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. As I'm sure you've realised by now, Azucena can be a very tricky and flashy character. One of her strongest and most important tricks in my opinion is how she can escape mids using her backturn mid escape in backturn back 1+2, used most commonly after opponents block our moves that leave us in backturn. It's particularly strong as it can parry mids that are elbows or knees, jumping attacks, running attacks, heat bursts and even weapons. Although be aware that it cannot parry heat smashes, unblockables, guard breaks and special mids. This video will go through how to use this mid escape and the subsequent mind game, so let's get right into it. Azucena's backturn back 1+2 activates in only 2 frames and has an active window of 6 frames. This means that the range of moves it will be effective on varies depending on the move you use it after. I'll include a list of common moves to use the escape after and the range of moves they cover in the description below. The best time to use it in my opinion is when the opponent blocks our down back 3. When down back 3 is blocked, Azucena is left at -7 in backturn, meaning if she opts to block by holding back, she'll get punished by while standing moves that are 13 frames or faster. A much lesser known and very important fact is that by holding forward from backturn, you can actually block 1 frame faster, meaning at -7 only I-12 or faster will be a true punish here. Just don't hold forward for an extended period of time here, as if your opponent delays their attack you will get hit. At -7, this also means backturn back 1+2 will escape mids ranging from 9 frame startup to 15 frame startup. Given most while standing punishment consists of mid attacks, this is incredibly strong as with practice we can confirm when our opponent blocks our low and press backturn back 1+2 on reaction to then shut down their punish. If the opponent recovers slowly enough, you can even also whiff punish their punish attempt if you're in range. Let me show you how you can practice performing this mid escape on reaction to your opponent blocking down back 3. Okay, so the best way to practice this in my opinion is to go into practice mode. You'll want to open the options menu and just make sure under practice settings that your training mode is set to offense. For opponent actions, we're going to set this to random block, and what this is going to do is it's going to cycle between random blocks for the CPU, like randomly blocking low or mid or if they block at all. And then for action after a hit or block, you just want to set this to punish, and what this is going to do is that when the CPU gets hit or they block something, they're going to retaliate with one of the options you set under the punishment settings. Now, since we're practicing a situation where the CPU is blocking a low, we'll want to set them a crouching punishment. So for this, you can either record something yourself, or you can go to the punishment list. So I'm just going to select Raina's while standing 4-4, which is her I-11 punish. So now that we've got our settings in place, when we go for down back 3, the CPU is either going to get hit by the move or they're going to block it and do the punish that we set in the punishment settings. So to practice, what we want to do is, the goal is that we do down back 3, and when it hits we can commit to one of our backturn 50-50 options, because that's what you do in a real game. But when it's blocked, you also want to go for the backturn parry with backturn back 1+2. And doing this repetitively over and over again will really help you recognize when you're blocking it and doing the right input, and when you're hitting it and doing your 50-50. So we're going to try this now. So I go for it, gets blocked, I do the parry. I go for it, they get hit, I go for a low or something. I go for down back 3, they block it, I go for a parry. And you just do this over and over again until you're really comfortable confirming what's happening on the screen and you're pressing the appropriate button. Whilst incredibly strong, there are some things we need to be aware of when going for the escape. Firstly, some punishment strings will still clip Azucena when evading the first hit, so whilst it reduces damage, it won't always make it totally safe. Secondly, the escape only deals with mids, meaning highs and lows will also clip her when going for this. Our opponent can also go for throws, which will result in an inescapable backturn throw if it catches our escape attempt. Fortunately, we can still duck these or break them when turning around. To deal with the lows, however, we need to be more calculated. At -7, Azucena can tap forward into down back to block, or tap forward into down forward to low parry 21 frame or slower lows. You can also tap back into a block or low parry, but you'll only be able to deal with 23 frame or slower lows. For 16 frame or slower lows at -7, we can use her backturn 3+4 to jump over the low, getting a launch if we connect. Lows or special lows that are I-15 or faster are too quick for the orbital to jump over at -7, so as far as I know, if they reach, they are a true punish. This includes down jabs, which commonly leave our opponent at +6 on hit, and leaving us backturned when we try and turn around, allowing them to hit a free 11 frame or faster move when we hold forward. We can neutral guard to eat the down jab front facing to prevent the follow-up, or we can escape any mid follow-ups with backturn back 1+2. If the opponent's low is slow enough, we can also try using our backturn attacks to beat our opponent out. At -7, backturn 1+2 will trade with 21 frame lows for a full launch. Opponents can also land slower mids if they have enough range to connect. After Azucena's down back 3 on her -7, I-16 or slower mids with range will connect on the escape for a punish. When opponents use slower mids, simply turn around and block them and punish them if they're unsafe. Finally, opponents can also just bait out our backturn mid escape by waiting for the animation and whiff punishing us. If the opponent does this, simply turn around after the opponent blocks the low by holding back or forward, as they won't be punishing you. Also, when moves are blocked at a distance, we can actually make some responses whiff that wouldn't normally, especially when creating distance by holding down back. I'll include an in-depth breakdown of how these other block situations work in the description, but here are some key points for them. Lib 3 gives a similar situation on block to down back 3, but is instead -9 instead of -7. As it takes 2 frames to activate the backturn parry, 10 frame moves are actually a true punish here, like Lee's while standing 3-3, meaning we can only parry 11 frame to 17 frame mids. Please take these 2 extra frames of recovery into consideration when applying the other solutions we discussed previously, as they'll change how some of our options work. Backturn 3+4 leaves our opponent crouched while we're -5 in backturn, but by holding forward to block, we'll actually block I11 or slower mids, meaning we really only need to use the parry for characters with 10 frame while standing mids like Lee. Finally, the second hit of Lib 3-1 leaves us -10 in backturn, and as our opponent is standing, 10 frame highs are a true punish here. When we try and turn around by holding forward, we'll get hit by moves that are 15 frames or faster. If the opponent is going for 11 frame or slower highs, we can turn around with down back and punish accordingly, and if they go for 12 to 18 frame mids, we can use the backturn parry. For I16 or slower mids and highs, we can also turn around and block with forward. Don't forget that Azucena can also use the backturn mid escape after getting hit in backturn to escape what would usually be free hits, so be sure to try and test some of these in practice mode. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching as always, and a massive thank you to you all for helping us hit 1000 subscribers. Be sure to check the description for more info on these situations, and I'll see you in the next one.